Hello and welcome to the Tech and Sports Podcast, the show about how technology is revolutionizing sports as well as health and fitness. You can find the Tech and Sports Podcast on your podcast service of choice. My name is Alex Radu, and I'm here with the magnificent Mandy Kovacs.
Hello.
Unfortunately, we are without our usual host, Paulo Del Nobledo, who is off gallivanting in the Big Apple this week.
Jealous, of course.
Of course. And before we get started, we just wanted to say thanks to everyone who is giving us a shot with this podcast and that we're having a lot of fun making it. If you've enjoyed it so far, please rate and review us on iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, or wherever you get your podcast from. It really does go a long way to helping us grow. And we've got a ton of news for you guys this week, plus we will debate yet another cheating scandal. So sit back and relax because 2 of your third stringers are coming right into the game. Mandy, take it away with the news.
All right, so first up in our news is that Visa has introduced a line of payment-enabled wearables for the upcoming Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang, South Korea. The line includes smart gloves that contain a dual interface chip with an antenna that will allow users to make contactless payments at any of the 1,000 sale terminals throughout the Olympic venues. Visa, who is one of the biggest sponsors of the Olympics, will also be offering 4 different commemorative lapel pins that can be used for payments, as well as a variety of thin, flexible, adhesive microtags, otherwise known as stickers, that are embedded with NFC chips and antennas and can be stuck on things like clothes and bags for easier payments as well. All of these will be available for purchase at customer centers and at vending machines around the venues.
Hold up. So real quick, how did they describe stickers?
Hold on. A variety of thin, flexible, adhesive micro tags.
So stickers, okay.
Yeah, cool. Stickers, basically.
So stickers that go on what again?
Anything. Clothes, bags, wherever you want.
And the stickers can pay.
Yes.
So the stickers are, or I'm saying the word sticker a lot.
Yes.
It's connected to your credit card.
Yes.
That sounds real unsafe.
I've reached out to Visa to confirm this because, I lose stickers and lapel pins literally all the time. So, if someone picks one up off the ground, will they be able to use it on someone else's credit card? I have no idea. So, We'll get back to you with that.
Yeah, I really like the idea of wearables being able to just kind of pay, kind of like enhancing that you being able to pay with your smartphone, but being able to pay with your watch, which I know some smartwatches do have and stuff like that, like the one you're wearing.
Yes, the Fitbit Ionic.
Yeah, so that stuff's really cool. But security, and it's the Olympics where there are a lot of people, and I wouldn't trust the security of stickers as far as you could throw a sticker, and you can't really throw a sticker at all. So.
Good point. Well, this isn't the first time they've done it either. Apparently last year at the Summer Olympics in Rio, I didn't know this, but they offered a ring that was in a payment enabled. So I don't know why they wouldn't bring that back, because I can see that being a little bit more secure than stickers or pins would be.
Also, it's so much more fashionable.
Obviously.
A ring that pays.
Right? Kind of cool. Anyways, next up, we have some pretty interesting results coming from the NFL's first research update of its engineering roadmap. So after reviewing video of every concussion-inducing play from the past 2 seasons, researchers from the NFL's engineering committee are recommending that helmets be refined and modified to be position-specific. So this committee, which was given $60 million in a budget to find a solution that can prevent concussions, found that there were so many different types of plays that can induce brain trauma, and that different positions are at a risk for concussions in different ways, that it makes sense to have a variety of helmets for different positional players. So, for example, quarterbacks were most likely to sustain concussions from falling and hitting the back of their head, while cornerbacks and wide receivers were the most susceptible positions overall to concussions, and usually were concussed from helmet-to-helmet contact or helmet-to-shoulder contact as a result of tackling or blocking. So taking all of this into consideration, the committee will be doing more research and testing and looking into designing new helmets, which, if this theory is correct, could lead to a policy change in the NFL. I'm sure we'll be talking about this in our next concussion protocol technology episode, but Alex, what do you think about that?
I don't know. First, I wonder if it's almost too little too late, but it's nice to see that they're actually doing that, but the fact that they're just kind of what it seems to me, they're like, oh yeah, so we know this is how concussions are happening in the most likely ways, and here are our suggestions for how we're going to do it. But I still want to see more kind of effort being put in. I want to see more timelines. I want to be like, okay, so does this mean that these types of helmets that they're going to try and research and put together are going to be in next season? or in like 2020, in 2025? Like, what's the time frame here from the NFL? Like, it's really cool that they're getting stuff done, but I want to know when it's going to happen, because this is research that should have been done 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's 2017, and if we have to wait till 2025 for, like, no one's going to be playing football at that point because everyone's going to be hurt.
Yeah, no, and this is the first update they've given on this as well, so it's definitely a lot further down the road. But I mean, this is also publicly available, so everyone, I highly recommend that you read some of it because it's quite fascinating, actually, some of the research that they've done. And now news from the gymnastics world, which is something we don't cover very often, but it looks like they were feeling a little left out of the technology conversation. The International Gymnastics Federation has partnered with Fujitsu to implement a technology system that will help more accurately judge artistic gymnastic competitions, so hopefully starting in 2020. The two will be working together on a 3D laser sensor that will capture gymnast movements and turn it into numerical data. So this is supposed to be then used to support the judges in their scoring so that they can be more accurate and fair. The data will be available in real time, and the Federation is hoping this will cut down on judges' inherent bias, which has been pretty obvious in the past. It's also supposed to make scoring easier, more transparent, as well as assist coaches and athletes in training. And they've already tested out a beta of the technology at the 47th Artistic Gymnastics World Championships in Montreal in October, and they will be using it again next year in Doha before hopefully making it in time for the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo.
Gotcha. So I just want to, make this clear here to understand what they're doing. So it basically, what it would be is like, if the perfect landing spot off a beam is in this place, these lasers would be able to tell how far to like the millimeter that someone was from that spot and stuff like that.
I think so, right? Like in gymnastics, like you want to try and be a perfectly straight line for the most part when you land. Yeah. So I think, it would turn that into numerical data. How close are you actually to achieving that perfect line is how I'm envisioning it. And they haven't released a lot of it. It's definitely still in like the research phase, but it's basically a camera that's set in front of a vault, for example, and it kind of monitors people that are doing their tricks on the vault.
Because I really like the idea of kind of adding a numerical tag to the specifics of some of gymnastics parts. But I mean, the reality of gymnastics as well, though, is that it is subjective for the most part.
Right. And this is specifically artistic gymnastics too.
Yeah. So it's really tough to always add grades to art, and I'm super against that. But if this adds it to maybe the technique part that cannot be disputed, that's cool.
Right. Yeah. Maybe we'll be able to talk about whether robots should replace gymnastics judges in the future.
Absolutely not.
All right, moving on, we have another controversy from the World Cup qualifiers besides the news that Italy didn't make the cut. Our good old Italian boy Paolo is not here to defend the team, but I will let it be known that he is quite upset with his country's play. Not happy at all. So now apparently Honduras is accusing Australia of using a drone to spy on the team's practice before their match yesterday, which determined who qualifies for the World Cup in Russia next summer, and Australia did win 3-1. But so the football governing body of Honduras tweeted out a video this week of the spy drone, and the team's coach called the incident embarrassing for such an advanced country. Australia does claim that the drone was not theirs, however, and that it actually belonged to a couple kids playing in a neighboring park, but Honduras is not buying that excuse. We will be talking about this later on in our discussion, and we got some views.
Yeah, if I had a drone, that's what I would do.
Really?
Yeah, I would. I mean, first of all, if I was like one of those kids and I'm like, hey, I'm going to go spy on the World Cup qualifying team, yeah, of course. 100%. Yeah. If there's no laws against it, why not?
All right, fair enough. And continuing with the World Cup news, next year's tournament in Russia will feature the most high-tech ball in history. Adidas Soccer revealed the Telstar 18 last week with the little help from superstar Lionel Messi, which will have an NFC microchip embedded inside of it. People will be able to interact with the balls using their phones, and with the chip, each ball has a unique identifier. So when fans use the FIFA World Cup app, they can unlock interesting content and information about specific balls in use, and they can enter different challenges in the run-up to the tournament. So this ball so far has been tested by 600 players in 12 countries, with over 31 professional clubs and federations using it, including Manchester United, Real Madrid, and the Colombian national team. So I'm not sure what this can mean for the actual game action, though. There has been no information that I could find on whether this will let FIFA track specific stats and analytics during matches, but to me, that's the most interesting potential application of this instead of fan engagement.
Yeah, also, I guess, insert Deflategate joke here.
Of course.
Gotta monitor that ball air quality. No, but that's cool. I agree with you.
Yeah.
It should just be, it'd be cool to see, I guess, this goal was scored because he kicked it on this side. Messi apparently always kicks it on a white square. Or white, whatever. I just made that up. That's not real.
Oh, why would you do that? Fake news, man.
But no, that'd be cool, if you were why does Messi always kick it there? Is that a coincidence? Or, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, we'll try to follow up with that.
Yeah.
All right, and this is the last soccer story, I swear. There's a new indoor facility in Brooklyn, New York called Soccer Roof that is basically making the FIFA video game a reality. Soccer Roof is going to be open before the end of this year, and it combines tracking technology and a smartphone app to give people a professional-like experience. Basically, players come in and they're equipped with a tracking chip worn on their soccer shoe. They're given a tracker-enabled ball to play with on a tracker-enabled pitch. And people play soccer like usual in their various recreational teams and leagues. But then they can use the soccer app to check all their statistics, like the number of shots they took, goals, distance covered, fastest shot, etc., on the app. And after games, those statistics are compiled, players are rated, and a leaderboard is put up in the facility's lobby for people to see and compare with each other. It also kind of creates a network or community because team captains can even scroll through the app and look at other players' performances and statistics and maybe even try to recruit them over to their own team. So this is now geared towards youth and recreational players, and it basically wants to give real people the video game experience.
So my only thing with this is that this is this type of arena that's specifically for this is going to become super irrelevant at some point.
Why?
Because the moment these chips are able to just be purchased and anyone can use them, you don't have to I'm going to imagine that they're going to use this as a way to be the fees are higher than your traditional,
possibly, yeah,
your traditional recreation league. And the moment everyone can just get a chip easily for cheap and put it on their shoe, this is it. You just put it on a cleat and that's it. Yeah. And then I guess maybe they have trackers on the actual grass too, but
they do, yes.
So, but at some point that's all going to be really cheap and it's really going to be everywhere.
Well, then it just becomes a normal thing then. So they just become a normal indoor soccer stadium.
In which case, I guess they adjust their pricing.
They would probably have to.
Yeah.
Or everyone else would adjust up to them.
Yeah.
They would be the
because it's even the whole leaderboard stuff thing. It's okay, that could easily be done on a website, on an app.
Yeah.
I don't know if you necessarily need to be in this, this is our thing. We're really good at it.
Yeah. I mean, it just makes me think of when I go play laser tag, when you come out and then you all look at the leaderboard and you try to make sure you beat your friends and stuff like that.
Yeah, fair enough. I want those stats in sports. I want those types of stats for everything I do.
Yes,
so
I would love that.
I'm all for it.
Me too. And now most of us are aware that Disney is pulling all of its movies and shows from Netflix because it's starting its own online portal. Now, the company has also announced that it will be launching a new sports streaming service branded ESPN Plus that will be available next year as a subscription service. It will stream thousands of live sporting events, but unfortunately, which ones has not been confirmed yet. Prices aren't available yet either, but this will be Disney's first direct-to-consumer offering, so we'll see what happens.
So this is actually really cool because I think a lot of sports fans who are hesitant to cut the cord is because there is no good streaming for sports. There is no good alternative to streaming sports compared to just having a satellite or cable or whatever. So this is really cool. It'd be really cool to see what sports they get. If they're able. The thing is with all these rights for streaming and all that, they're not going to be able to do every single sport.
Definitely not right away.
And we'll have to see how all these leagues play that out. But because if they only get a few sports, a few of the leagues or one of the leagues, then that's kind of okay, you can just buy the NFL package or the NHL package or the NBA package.
It's also Disney, though, so it's not like this is some random little startup. Disney has the money to buy these rights and to negotiate with
but it's
leagues.
Super expensive.
It's Disney.
I know, but
they're competing with Netflix and Amazon.
Fair, also fair, but first the rights for all these TV deals aren't up yet. and they're going to be competing with Amazon and Netflix. Well, probably not Netflix, but at least Amazon and Facebook next time around. I believe the NFL's TV rights are up in 2021, so that's when the next round of stuff is going to go on there. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Again, we'll follow that up when we know more. Okay, so our last story of the day is a health and fitness story, which we often neglect, but we remember today. Fitbit has announced that it will be giving 10,000 of its health trackers to the Scripps Research Institute in the U.S. as part of a year-long study that will look at the health habits of Americans. So this is part of a larger multi-year study looking at 1 million Americans called All of Us, which was created in 2015 and funded by the National Institute of Health. And the data will help the company explore everything from physical activity to heart rates and sleep patterns of people that are a part of this study. And it hopes that the data will be used to create a more robust health strategy for the country going forward, which I think we all kind of need as obesity creeps up.
Yeah, no, all for it.
Yeah.
All for getting healthier.
Exactly. That's it for the news today. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, so on to the debate. We are going to tackle that other cheating scandal. We spoke about how Honduras accused Australia during a World Cup qualifier of using a drone to spy on their practice before the game. We know that Australia then won said game, though the accusations came before the game.
Premeditated accusations, exactly.
Or I guess covering their butts or whatever if they do lose.
Whatever
Who knows?
you want to call it.
Whatever you want to call it. So we're going to debate whether or not this is fair play. And we did this with Apple Watches in baseball when that whole Boston Red Sox ordeal happened.
Boo, Boston.
And we agreed it shouldn't happen in baseball because that was a really specific way of cheating. Mm-hmm. But, and I'm going to go first here. I'm totally okay with this. Because number one, if you look at the video that they posted, that drone is high in the sky.
It is, yes.
That drone is up there. So the whole accusation of just some kids were playing with the drone, that's actually possible. That doesn't seem that made up.
Counterpoint to that, though.
Okay.
That seems so high up. That doesn't seem like a model that some random children in Australia can afford.
Though you don't know if it was just a bunch of rich kids.
I guess possible, I guess.
So
we don't know them.
I don't want to put those kids in a box, whether they are real or made believe.
All right, fair.
Anyways, so the drone was super high up, and at most you could just capture, I guess, basic drills, scrimmages, whatever, and then maybe, I guess, discern certain plays. There's no audio on it. Mm-hmm. It's not like they were hearing, oh, okay, we're going to practice this play where I want this person to go that way. All that stuff. It's that. Okay, whatever. I'm not even going to go into that more. But another thing is that it's football, or soccer, anyways.
Yeah, we're North
It's not like Australia is coming up with anything, or Honduras is coming up with anything in their practice that's going to shock Australia in the game. They're already watching tapes of previous games. You're doing your homework beforehand. This is just totally unnecessary, and it's not even that effective. It is soccer. It's not super reliant on. Granted, I don't play soccer. I could be totally off base here, but even hockey, it's not like hockey. Every single moment is relied on. Oh, here's the play. Here's the play. Maybe they draw up plays in the moment, at the end of the game, if they get a timeout and all that. But the only real sport is basketball and football where they're actually drawing up plays on the bench, right before, they actually go do it.
I guess. But
so it's not it's not really what are they stealing? What are they spying on?
I don't know. They may have some plays that they want to keep secret.
That they've never used before?
Maybe.
They were Australia's the one?
It is the World Cup qualifiers. Maybe they had some, miracle, vision moment where they're like, oh, man, this is a great play that we should use that we've never done before. Maybe they stole it from someone else and now they want to use it for the first time. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. But the point being, especially where this drone was located, this isn't what are they going to do? Ban sports stadiums are going to turn into airports where it's just a no-fly zone?
Maybe.
that. There's so many other, issues. And it's a drone. It was 200-300 feet in the air. I just don't see what they would have stolen. It doesn't make any sense. But they lost anyways. And
They did.
It was 3-1, if I remember correctly.
Yes, for Australia.
For Australia.
Who was accused of cheating.
Okay, but...
So, did they actually steal some useful information with this drone? Is the question.
I mean, we unfortunately don't have eyes or ears inside of the Australian war room.
No, we don't.
Their World Cup team.
Yeah.
So, here, your turn.
I don't know. I mean, I think this just brings up the ethics of technology in sports, right? Like, the fact that we have this technology, should we be using it? I mean, if you care at all about fair play, cheating in any way is bad, and this kind of counts as cheating if the Australians were actually using it to cheat. And I mean, I've always said that I want robot umpires in baseball and more sensors and videos in sports, because I want the correct call to be made, because that's the fair way to play the game. So if I'm holding up to that standard in all the other sports and all the other discussions that we have, I kind of feel like I should be very, very against this drone cheating. And I am. I think it's kind of crappy to say that, put that nicely, I guess. I don't know. And I mean, you can also look at it from a privacy perspective too. If we all, as like individual citizens, have the right to privacy, shouldn't sports teams?
I guess. Yeah. I mean, hey, valid point.
Right? And I mean, your argument about whether there's anything to steal in the first place, I don't know how right that is, because I mean, we all have the right to privacy anyways, and there's probably always some things that you want to keep from the other team. You don't want to walk in there a completely open book. No team has ever really done that. So why would you want to do it in this situation either?
Sure.
Right? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is the thing. It almost feels like it's a scandal at like the minorest degree, because like with the Boston Apple Watch thing, like they were using it to steal things in the moment during a game. Well, this is just watching practice from like an aerial view in the sky. It's not even like they had like some dude like recording it on like a camera like high in the stands, just like camouflaged, wearing like all gray or something, whatever.
To look like a seat.
Yeah, to look like a seat. It's not like that was happening. So I don't know. I think for me, the reason why I'm, I guess, so okay with it is just because I'm like, I don't even think there was anything to steal. I don't think there was anything to worry about. But, you know.
I don't know. I also realized that the Honduras coach also said before the game that someone in the Honduran media might have leaked tactical details to the Australian team. So, I mean, this could be part of a whole larger conspiracy to take down Honduras. And
yeah, hey, that's a conspiracy. I'm all on board on getting on. But again, so like actually like stealing and passing on actual tactical secrets is so much more effective than
using a drone.
Having a drone so high in the sky with no audio and possibly blurry vision.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
You know? So that's the only point I'm going to make.
Yeah, no, interesting points. I don't know. We'd love to hear your opinions. If you want, you can tweet us both. I'm at Mandy V. Kovacs on Twitter. And
I'm at Alex T. Radu. And that's another episode in the books. Just another reminder that if you are enjoying our at least decent commentary on this growing part of sports, please give us a review and rating on iTunes, Google Play, etc. And Mandy, this is great. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Or listening. Or both.